يا مصريين، يا أردنيين، يا ليبيا، يا جزائر، يا تونس، يا مغرب، يا كل الشعوب العربية، يا كفار، يا عالم، يا عالم متنا من الجوع، يا عالم متنا من الجوع. افتح المعبر، الناس ماتت من الجوع، احنا متنا من الجوع يا عالم، يا عالم متنا من الجوع. وصي صوتنا يا عمي، متنا يا عالم من الجوع، يا عالم بكفي، يا عالم بكفي، والله العظيم بكفي.
Yo, what is up and what is going on? Salute to everybody in the building coming through. Salute to my OG crush up here, my STN OG. Let me go to the chat quickly. Excuse me, VKB. Always coming through for me. Dr. Fields, thank you so much. Angie Baby, smash the like button. Thank you, everybody. How you doing, Crush the Legend? Before I get to the topics, how you doing tonight?
Great, man. Just taking a nice little stroll back to the crib, man. The weather's feeling good. Uh, I'm in good spirits, man. So I'm fine. Aware what's going on with the world as we all should be, and ready to chop it up, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot going on in the news. We're gonna get into the Epstein files today. Recently, Congress has had a couple of disclosures. One, they subpoenaed Jeffrey Epstein's estate, and they got the 2003 birthday book. Oh, my brother Crush the Legend, he dropped out. I guess he'll be back. But going into this, or at least just briefly on some of these topics, they got Congress. I think this was the House Oversight Committee under James Comer. They subpoenaed the 2003 Epstein birthday book. Um, this was a book compiled by Ghislaine Maxwell and Epstein's friends and associates, and there is a section of it which, in my opinion, I believe is the when we talk about an Epstein list, that may be the closest thing we've seen now to a public disclosure that is an Epstein list of friends and associates that he got down with and he was very friendly with and that he partied with. Also, my brothers, couple of my brothers who, you know, should be coming on later. Let me see. One second. Also today, Charlie Kirk, well-known conservative voice and political commentator, Christian evangelist. He was fatally shot in the neck. Horrific event. Unfortunately, he was assassinated. It was done with a single shot. From the photos I've seen from the New York Times and Wall Street Journal, it appears to me it was done. Oh, hold on one sec. Got my brother AC. AC. How you doing? You cool? AC. I guess my brother AC going through that New York subway. It is what it is. That's Rat City. My brother AC is like a lot. He's like a ninja turtle. Salute to him. Pulling up. Smash the like button in the chat. But going into a horrific and shocking event that happened today. I mean, one second. Golly. People keep texting me. Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, AC fell out too. But that's okay. We keep going. Horrific event that happened today. Charlie Kirk, like I said, well-known political commentator, was unfortunately assassinated. This event took place. Excuse me. This event took place in Orem, Utah, where he had been speaking at a college campus event. Charlie Kirk was 31 years old. President Donald Trump confirmed the death on his social media site, Truth Social. Mr. Kirk had just taken the stage at Utah Valley University when he was shot in the neck shortly after noon. He was taken. Oh, my brother AC is back.
Yeah. Now, I wasn't hearing anything. I told you it's just, I don't know, maybe it's our internet or whatever, but I shouldn't be having these difficulties with my phone because that's a separate thingy. But where was you cooking off at, bro?
I'm just talking about the event of the day, the shocking, horrific event, Charlie Kirk being
Yeah.
assassinated at Utah Valley University. I was just getting into it. He was shot in the neck shortly after noon. He was taken to a nearby hospital where he was later declared dead. Mr. Kirk was only 18 years old when in 2012 he founded Turning Point USA, which he conceived as a conservative response to liberal movements such as Black Lives Matters and the LGBTQ community. Kirk is survived by his wife and two children, a boy and a girl. Donald Trump has ordered that all flags be flown at half staff until this Sunday. FBI Director Kash Patel has also confirmed that a suspect is in custody. This is a developing story. Um, Before I pass it over to you, AC, to get your reaction to this shocking event, cause Charlie Kirk, he's not nobody little, at least in my mind. I want to say that I'm not gonna miss Charlie Kirk. I'm gonna just come straight out and be honest about it. I think this man was a great deceiver. He was a divider of people. He was a racist. He was a Zionist. He's whatever else you want to put on it. But when I look at a Christian, and I think when I think of like a Bible thumping lion ass Christian, I think of Charlie Kirk. Like
For
he
sure.
is so yeah, or excuse me, he was so disgusting. And I'm not really dancing on the man's grave. This is stuff I'm well documented in saying I don't like him. I didn't like. I disagree with his stance on or excuse me, I disagreed with his stance on what is going on in Palestine and his lack of empathy for the little children starving to death. I didn't like it when he made fun of Nancy Pelosi when a man came into her home and attacked her husband with a fucking hammer. Okay, I don't like the people that follow him because many of them are openly fascist.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't condone this. I
Yeah.
don't
That.
condone this.
Go
This is
ahead.
not the way to like AC. This is not the way to defeat them. We are not at the. And I was talking to you earlier. We're not at the point yet where Trump is serving a third term, and all the all the pillars of democracy, like the checks and balances, the co-equal branches, all of it is just. We're not at the point yet where all of it is just eroded, and we can't combat this. You know what I'm saying? Like we just had a Democratic state lawmaker up there in Minnesota, who was unalived in front of her doorstep by somebody pretending to be a police officer.
Uh-huh.
And guess who they were? They were an evangelist Christian who went to or excuse me, an evangelical Christian who had went over there to the Congo and to Sierra Leone, and was talking all that good stuff about, oh yeah, the West is so sinful, they're full of gays and all this stuff. Charlie Kirk was the exact same way, and now somebody came in here and got him. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't want this to become like a real civil war in this country. Cause like that's how it starts. When
Yeah.
people stop fighting on the battlefield of ideas and they start picking up fucking guns. Like you know what I'm saying? Like where it's okay, we got one of theirs, so we're gonna come and get one of theirs. Like Kamala Harris just hired secret security. You saw what Trump did to her.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
stripped her. Yeah. So maybe somebody might say, let's go get Kamala,
Uh-huh.
or let's go get one of these famous trans people. I'm not with it, AC.
No,
I'm not with
I.
it. So before prayers to Charlie Kirk's family, especially the kids. Prayers for them. Like I was saying, this is a horrific event. I don't think nobody should get unalive for using a voice. But you go ahead, AC.
I.
Whatever you
I'm.
got to say.
I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna talk about the things that you just said. When we when we talk about uh,
politicized violence in this country and saying that it's not the answer. You feel me? One of the strongest movements in this country was the nonviolent movement that was orchestrated by Dr. King and his followers, and also by faith. So that nonviolent movement was the type of thing that actually made change. Whether you agree with it or not, that whole turn the whole cheek thing, a lot of people wasn't with that at the time. That's what gave rise and the birth to Malcolm X. You feel what I'm saying? He was completely on the opposite side of that spectrum until he went to Mecca and he saw what he saw there and experienced what he experienced there. So there are political moves that can happen to change things. Um, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't start with policy. It starts with on the ground, on the street movements. Outrage. Go deal with everything. Democrats have always been talking about gun violence. We've got to cure gun violence. We're way beyond epidemic. The one thing that captures my attention the most in this entire situation is the fact that you look at the politicians who just passed away or the politician who has passed away in Minnesota. You look at the number of school shootings. You look at the deaths, all the deaths that happened during COVID. At the end of the day, Donald Trump had never asked for the flags to be uh, flown half-mast to respect all of those people who died senselessly of COVID, even those who died off of some of his idiotic advice. We just had a school shooting, and I quoted this on someone else's channel. That listen, here's the crazy part about it, and I want y'all to let this sink in. Charlie Kirk's uh, dying is going to get more coverage than all of the school shootings combined. This man is already letting you know the importance of a school shooting and little kids dying, as opposed to someone who spoke in good terms of him. That's what's more important in this man's life. And at the end of the day, I'm a person who's on the opposite spectrum, and people need to hear some. I feel like people need to hear both sides of the coin. Yes, my good brother Marky Dan is going to bring his religious beliefs first, foremost, and uh, first and foremost to it, because he's going to look at things through that filter that said, I I'm a religious person. I'm a man of faith. I can't look at what happened to Charlie Kirk and then have no sympathy or empathy. That's what my belief system says. Regardless if the person is my sworn enemy, at the end of the day, you have sympathy or empathy if something tragic happened to them or their family. That's what that says. On the opposite side of the spectrum, there's those of us who are like, you know what? I don't give a shit about Charlie Kirk or his fucking family. This is the shit you asked for. You chose to become a mouthpiece for this bullshit. You chose to laugh at all of this other stuff. And there's an old saying, Mr. Kirk, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So if you chose to live by the sword, why give me a reason why I should have sympathy for you? And I've watched the rhetoric that you and those on your side have pushed out that got innocent people killed. The nutcase that goes to the pizza shop and shoots up the pizza shop because of people like you were spreading around things that this weird stuff was going on. And at the end of the day, this is not what we're looking for. We're not looking for these type of equivalences to justify it. I can't find an equivalence to justify it. You feel what I'm saying? But I know what your actions have led to this point. This is the actions you chose to take, Mr. Kirk. This is the stance you chose to take. And at the end of the day, some point you had to know that it might get thick for you. Your life might be in jeopardy based on the things you're saying. And at the end of the day, if it comes down to it all, and this is another MAGA or Republican extremist that's choosing to pick up a gun because they're so extreme in their beliefs that they actually take it beyond what MAGA is telling them, as far as, going to the Bible and constantly quoting the Bible. And this may not be a race war. It could actually just be a holy war to some of these people. Their jihad. The Christians and Catholics are not absolved of that crime, going to war for holy. What are the Crusades? What are all of these historic religious wars that we talked about?
I was
That we
Utah
learned in history?
birthed. I was Utah birthed. AC Governor Mormon.
You
Oh
feel
no!
what?
Oh, excuse me, Governor Berman Young. Excuse me.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is this: at the end of the day, the way this thing is trending, I'm starting to feel that it's not going to be a race war. What it actually is going to be, what actually they're trying to push for the race war, so Trump can get some weird martial law and do whatever he's trying to do with that. But what they don't realize is going to happen. It's going to be a class system war. Because you keep doing what you're doing, you keep putting people's lives in jeopardy, and then being so callous about those people's lives. Look at what RFK Jr. was basically saying. Everyone's lying, but him and his beliefs are actually the truth about vaccines, about COVID, about the CDC, everything. Everybody else is lying. And all you got to do is just listen to me, Mehmet Oz, and a couple other people, and you'll be all right. Fuck the other 10,000 people who are actually saying, I took my Hippocratic oath to save lives. And I'm not going to put out false information that will harm people. So we're this country right now is at the same turning point it was during Lincoln's time, when slavery was the big issue. And we look at what was Lincoln assassinated for, wanting to free slaves. When you compare that to the actual crimes that Donald Trump has committed, when you look at what got Reagan's assassination attempt, when you look at what got Martin Luther King killed, when you look at what got Malcolm X killed, it's far less than the stupid shit and the weird shit that's going on with Donald Trump. So at the end of the day, it's how people feel. We're at another political pivotal point in this country. We faced it during Lincoln. We faced it during slavery. Not slavery, during the civil rights movement. We faced it in the 80s, but it was quiet, and that was the Industrial Revolution. This next industrialized revolution is really gonna fuck people up, and me and Marky have already talked about that. So those people who are speaking out and trying to, give the elites their passes and give the elites their cover stories and cover them up and say, no, don't be mad at the elites. Be mad at those who are even more poor than you, because it's their fault that the elites can't do what they need to do for you. When people start to wake up to that argument, that's really, really going to get fucked up in this country, because it's both sides. These are Republicans and diehard Democrats, diehard progressives that'll just say, this entire system is not working for me, and I don't know what's going on with the politics in this country, but they just don't work for the average citizen no more. It's working for the 1% of the 1%. And again, I don't condone political violence. I don't condone, a person being out and doing what they're trying to do, as far as, in his debates or whatever, which was just a transference of information. Whether you agree with Charlie Kirk or disagree with him, Was it really reason enough to shoot this man? Like, what threat was really Charlie Kirk when we saw teenagers just dismantle his belief systems? Like, what threat was he when a teenager, a high schooler, a first or 2 year college student can easily dismantle this man's whole talking points and arguments? Who was he a threat to? Definitely wasn't a threat to me. If he came in my face, I'd have laughed at him like, get the fuck out of my face with that stupid shit you talking about. Nobody trying to hear that. I'd have threatened him just to move. Fuck out of here before you get beat up. He would have got the fuck up out of Dodge. No threat to nobody.
You'd have did that if you came to your alma mater?
Huh?
You'd have did that if you came to your alma mater? You'd have threatened them with violence for using his
I'd have
voice?
told that dude, like, bro, you ain't finna come up here and talk that stupid shit, so you might as well pack your bags and get up out of here. You know, it's not gonna happen. You get beat the fuck up, you come up in here trying to talk that stupid shit.
Oh, jeez. Well, you advocate, so my brother AC advocates for the violence against this type of speech which he disagrees with. Crazy.
No, I do not. No.
I ain't gonna call you a communist. I ain't gonna call you a fascist. But hey.
I can debate with anyone. But when you're trying to gaslight racism to me, I don't even want to talk to you because you know better. You know exactly what you're doing. So if you want to have a real debate, we can have that real debate. But the minute you start trying to gaslight racism and all of that other weird shit, I'm going to be like, no, shut it down. No. You're not going to do that. If you're not here to have a real conversation, if these are your beliefs, you're honestly telling me these are your beliefs? Okay, then let's talk. No, forget what I just said. Let's just talk because I need to get to the bottom of how you come to understanding of views and people. You ask me, are you a liberal? Are you this? No, I'm a fucking humanist. I look out, I judge humans treat me. I look out for what's best for humanity as a whole. I don't give a shit about your political party because that's only an invisible line that you accepted to be real. If we accept we're all humans, there are no lines. There's nothing that says anything different about it, except this guy's taller than me, this guy's chunkier than me. You know, this guy may be more handsome than me. You feel what I'm saying? This guy's
but then we wouldn't have politics, AC.
Huh?
But then we wouldn't have politics.
You still would have politics, but the politics would be, okay, how do we pay for it? You would have one party and the conservatives would have a real place. You really get more people who are conservative than anything else because it's like, okay, if we're always looking out for humanity, we've already made these leaps and bounds in science and technology. We found real cures.
Oh, but you support gays.
Exactly. Then
we're originalists. What is a humanist?
Yeah, exactly. So then it'll come down to weird shit like that. So the politics will still be there, but the huge divisions, I just don't see them actually being there and being as meaningful as they are today. Everything has to be labeled. Everything has to be, what side of the fence are you on this one? What side of the fence? What are your political views on that? What are your political views on the weather? You feel what I'm saying? I'm like, if it's going to rain tomorrow, it's going to rain. No, tomorrow it's not rain. It's actually precipitation. What the fuck's the difference between a duck and a mallard then? You know, so
I mean, for some shit like that, yeah, you could slap the shit out of them for that. Like if you that anal about precipitation versus rain, I mean, yeah, I ain't got no problem with that. But my brother Smoke Session, Pop, a lot of smoke is in the building. How you doing, Pop?
What's going on, man? I just watched that Charlie Kirk shit. That shit crazy.
Yeah, somebody got him. It was a sniper.
Crazy, bro. I don't wish that on. You don't wish that on. Like not him. Like maybe Epstein. Like.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I don't wish that on nobody. I don't think nobody deserves to die like that, unless you're Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, Epstein.
Yeah,
Epstein
absolutely.
deserve that. But
Nah.
you know, you talking about this list, man? I'll fuck with you for a little bit, man. Before I'll come over and jump on it. Nah, I'll fuck with you for a little bit with the Epstein list. That bitch right there, the bitch with the black hair, that's she worse than motherfucking Epstein.
Yeah, because you the one who orchestrated it.
She went and found them all. That means you gaslighted them, tricked them all up. Pull up.
Let's get into the Epstein list. I want to get both your thoughts on this. It's some very sick stuff. Sick stuff. That's come out this week from Congress. Let me hold on one sec. Here it is. Okay, so we move on to the never-ending saga that is the Epstein files. Congress subpoenaed the Jeffrey Epstein's estate for his 2003 birthday book that Ghislaine Maxwell and his friends and associates compiled for him. This did not come from the DOJ. Let's be very clear. It came from Epstein's estate. So Donald Trump and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and the FBI, they have not had a chance to tamper with this evidence yet. But inside of this, hold on, let me get this up.
Marky ain't hyped today, because if he get hyped, boy, he go into that accent and you just don't know, boy.
Hold on, boy. Wait 1 second. Let me get it up. Hold on. Where is it?
Pop, man, you got me kind of twisted, bro. It's fight weekend. I ain't heard nothing from you, bro.
Hey. Stay on topic, nigga.
I know.
In the subpoenaed files here, we see a table of contents. Now, in this table of contents, you could see people labeled family, girlfriends is obviously redacted, as well as children. Obviously because those are underage people, or at least at the time of this, and they could be victims. And here you see friends, and one of those names you can see is Bill Clinton, and under that you see Alan Dershowitz, as well as a lot of other billionaires. Then on the next page you see even more names. One of them you can see is Donald Trump, and above that is another name, Joel Pacho. If you see a little bit, his name is gonna come up later.
Yeah.
So Congress goes ahead and they release this. Further on, we could see you can also see scientists, there's Nobel Prize winners, and people that are labeled special assistants that are redacted later in the files. But if you want to see a more in-depth picture, especially on the names that are in here, I posted a link to the Wall Street Journal article. It goes really in depth into it and names all these people and their profession. So moving on, sticking to the two big names that we're gonna touch is Bill Clinton and of course our current boy Donnie Boy Trump. First, right here, we see a letter from Bill Clinton. It says "Happy 50th." I can't read the rest of that crap. It's in scribble.
Yeah.
But according to handwriting experts, that's Bill Clinton's handwriting. That's his signature. I don't have any reason not to believe them. Bill Clinton has yet to comment on this. Later on, we see this. Now, this letter, drawn in the shape of a woman with Donald Trump's apparent, or at least alleged signature, he claimed did not exist. But this birthday book turned up this drawing. And in it, I'm going to read it. It says, and I'm going to just say, this stuff is just straight up creepy. Like, this is just, it's creepy. It's like he's writing it to an old boyfriend. There must be more to life than having everything, Donald.
Voice.
Yes, he said, yes, there is. But I won't tell you what it is, Jeffrey. Nor will I, since I also know what it is, Donald. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, yes, we do. Come to think of it, this shit, like dude. Donald, enigmas never age. Have you noticed that, Jeffrey? As a matter of fact, It was clear to me the last time I saw you. Donald, a pal is a wonderful thing to have. Happy birthday. May every day be another wonderful secret. Then at the bottom, you see Donald J. Trump and you see his signature. Um, he is currently suing the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion, saying that this is a fraud and a hoax. I don't see how he could do that at this point. His only defense is that he's claiming that that's not his signature. Sky News's handwriting expert confirmed, or at least from her opinion, as well as others, have said that is his signature. Above you can see that's a letter he wrote in 2000. And not only that, like, who the fuck got time to do all that squiggly handwriting shit? And who the fuck got time for that? Well, now, that's not all our AZ. That's not even the craziest thing that's come out in this file. Later on, and this stuff is really, really disturbing. We see this picture that's found in the file. I have the more explicit stuff blocked out, the stuff with the kids. But over here on the left, you see the picture at the bottom. It says 1983. I guess Pop will come back. But AC, you see at the bottom, it says 1983. And above, Jeffrey Epstein is handing 3 little girls some balloons and candy. Then over here, we pan over to the right. Jeffrey Epstein is getting massaged by 4 women in 2003. Now, that's not really surprising, but it is disturbing that I guess he kept that. But the real disturbing part is in the background. Let me let my brother pop up. Yeah, but Pop, you see this photo right here, which was found in the Jeffrey Epstein birthday book. I mean, it's really sick stuff. Like, they found this stuff to be funny and pleasurable, that they kept it around for mementos. But here you see Jeffrey in 1983, which at this time he would have been an investor or a stockbroker at one of these big banks. Yeah, he's handed some little girls some candy and some balloons. Then over in 2003, he's getting massaged by grown women, it appears. However, the more disturbing part about this is people have been looking at this photo, and obviously you can also see the jet, the Lolita Express.
Yeah.
If you look closely in the background, you see a mansion. People are saying this mansion looks like Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
People are saying it looks just like Mar-a-Lago. Not only that,
if you go back to 2003, like they showed a picture. I saw someone show a picture of what Mar-a-Lago looked like in 2003. That's Mar-a-Lago, bro.
Yep. Not only that, I've looked it up. This is Epstein's South Florida mansion. That don't look nothing like that picture. This is Little St. James, the Epstein Island. That don't look nothing like that picture. So, I mean, I can't prove nothing off that. That's not smoking gun evidence that's Mar-a-Lago. But hey, I mean, I don't know, buddy. But moving on quickly, because you gotta go, Pop. Yeah, hold on. Moving on, even more disturbing. This picture was found along with this letter, and this you would think would be like, this is the smoking gun evidence that Donald Trump knows what was going on when it comes to the women being sex trafficked. Here in this picture, you can see Jeffrey Epstein and the guy I was talking about earlier, Joel Pacho. They're holding up a big fake check that says DJ Trump. And obviously for $20,000, for $22,500. Obviously the check is not real, but people have disputed it by saying that's not Donald Trump's signature, but it's a big ass fucking check. He's not gonna write it like it's a small fucking check. but the letter, but as I said, that's Joel Pacho, who by the way is a Mar-a-Lago frequent. He's been so at least until 2019. In this letter, it reads, Jeffrey showing, quote, Jeffrey showing early talents with money plus women, exclamation point. Sells, quote, fully depreciated, the woman's name is detracted, but no, it says sells fully depreciated woman to Donald Trump for $22,500. Showed early, quote, people skills. 2, even though I handled the deal, I didn't even get any of the money off the deal. So this guy, Joel Pacho, who you see next to Epstein holding a check, he's joking, I guess, that they sold a woman and that he didn't get any of the proceeds from being a part of the deal.
Wow.
Even more, I mean, I mean, bro, like I'm it's right there in your face. But this is not gonna be smoking gun. You would think this would be the smoking gun evidence that would get Donald Trump the hell out of office, but 1 second, where is it? There's a New York Times article that, hold on 1 sec, where is it? Okay, here it is. Yes, the woman in question, whose name is redacted, she was a wealthy European, then in her 20s, severed all ties, well, at least quote. That's what a lawyer is saying. They say she severed all ties with Epstein in 1997. I don't believe that bullshit. The woman said that she doesn't know Pacho and has no knowledge of the letter naming her, which she called a disgusting and deeply disturbing hoax. I wonder who she got that line from. Pacho's attorney also didn't respond for a request to comment. The woman became a point of tension in Epstein and Trump's friendship, according to people who were close to Epstein. Epstein told these people that he believed the woman enjoyed spending time over with Trump, and he was bitter when she ended up choosing to go out with Trump. Trump and Pacho were listed on the friends section in the books of table contents, along with Clinton and 20 other associates, according to the Journal. But yeah, this bitch, she's keeping her mouth shut. She's probably got a deal. Or excuse me, I shouldn't say that because she's probably a victim. But at the same time, she's choosing to cover up for pedophiles pedophiles and sexual predators. So I ain't got no real sympathy for her. You know what I'm saying? She's probably getting some type of deal.
Bro, she got the masseuse. The masseuse that was in the picture.
Uh-huh.
She's the one who went and got the masseuse.
Oh man. But hey, listen. I just laid out.
I'm right here with you.
No, but hold on. I just laid out a lot of information. Go ahead and react to it fully, Pop. Then I'm gonna go to you, AC. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of that, I'm gonna be real with you. You need a smoking gun because you can say that anybody that went to the Playboy Mansion.
Exactly.
He was like, I mean, I'm not excusing it, but I'm like, yo, at a certain point, they greased the right motherfucker to be able to get away with this shit. But I'm not excusing Epstein. He's a piece of shit. But the woman to go get other women, younger ones, knowing that they're not with it. Like I said, she got the masseuse. And she was the masseuse until I think she turned 23 or 25. Then she was too old. She was too much of a woman. So he had to get a shit. You know what I'm saying? So he wanted them I ain't gonna say that he wanted them 15, 16, 17, but he was, it was when he first died, like, trust me, Mark, I got a homegirl that don't let up on this shit. Older Italian woman. She do not let up on this shit, bro. So this shit right here, everything people started talking about now, I knew like 3, 4, 5 years ago, and I was just like, God damn, well, how long is it gonna take for it to happen? That's just like AC. This Diddy shit don't surprise us at all.
No, because if you were kind of like here in New York, let's say anywhere from, I've
been here since 01, so I'm just telling you.
We knew, all of us knew, between fucking around with people in the music industry, going to these industry parties, you would see Jeffrey Epstein there. You would see Donald Trump there. Why you think Nas and all of these rappers was talking about it? Because these were the dudes getting them into these type of hotel and ballrooms that they could really act like ball. And Trump was a Democrat back then. You feel what I'm saying?
that the Diddy, like, niggas is like, how we was just like,
I mean, New York full of a bunch of predators.
we was
I
just
was just
saying,
looking at
when was y'all going
African
to catch on? When was y'all gonna catch on? And just know that, yo, listen, bro. We been saying this nigga should have done some time. Shine didn't shoot that girl. Shine didn't shoot that girl. Word. That's like, you start thinking about the shit, like the shit he did now. When I'm not saying y'all, I'm just saying like now that everybody woke, we was looking at the band shit like, yo, nigga, I'd have punched it in the fucking face talking about go get a cheesecake, nigga. You don't suck. Like, nigga, the uproar from the band, we was like, yo, what the fuck? But he greased the right people, and then he was with the right people, and then it happens to everybody. I think the smartest nigga, let's be real, the smartest nigga, Russell Simmons. He went to a non-extraditable country where you can't get him. Gonna be hard to find him in body like that because he move around.
Hey yo, let me keep it a beam with y'all. Guess who's in those Epstein files?
Russ?
Yep.
Just saying.
Listen. I've seen with my own two eyes at the World Trade Center. World Trade Center got a bar called the greatest bar in the sky. Some shit like that. They host clubs there. When Don Pooh got hit in the head with a champagne bottle, that happened there. Guess who else was there? Mike Tyson. So, these were some of the places that I was at.
They're gonna be, man. Like,
I actually
what they're doing there, what they doing there, my nigga, they like Marky, like the people that they inviting, right? Like now the white party sounds so crazy and everybody making so much fun of it, but niggas was dying to get to that white party, bro. Yeah. Because of the connects and what you could do, like being in that scenery and where people are right now. What goes on behind closed doors and shit and all of that, like everybody ain't with that. Everybody don't know that, but you there at that same motherfucker that's in there getting it in with a man is the same motherfucker that he can, like, you got to talk to him.
Yeah. And that's why
I'm
talk to him, bro. Like,
that's why I'm in Terry Crews.
What's
set him up with a white wife?
See?
Yeah.
But no, Terry Crews had that wife way before any of this. She was with him when he was broke. So that's a different white bitch. That's not the one that they set you up with.
I get what you're saying, but I don't think she's been good for him. I mean, she stood right there and watched him get fondled. The man, the Jewish director, or I think he was a producer, went straight up to Terry in the corner and fondled his balls. And his wife stood there and told him to take it.
The dude's in jail. Okay, now I'll tell you this. Did you see you if you want to say something, Dawn, you can all right. So do you watch Eddie Griffin's podcast?
I don't watch Eddie Griffin. I love him. I love Eddie Griffin.
Okay.
I don't watch him though.
Okay, Eddie Griffin podcast said, now Eddie Griffin said that, like they do shit like that. Like there was a time where I walked into there to see one of them big movie motherfucking producers, nigga, that can make shit happen for me. And the nigga sitting there he's sitting low underneath his desk, and he had his shit hanging out, just like, what you gonna do for me? Yeah, and Eddie said, I gotta walk right up out of that motherfucker before I kill him. So it's not like they will try you. I guarantee you. Terry Crews was not thinking about this big time movie producer. He think he about to make him an action hero. Not he want to touch his private part. I guarantee you that shit probably fucked him up, especially. I know we get like Terry Crews, this nigga that he play these roles, but I guarantee you that shit fucked him up, bro. Word. Guarantee you that shit fucked him up. He in therapy and all that shit behind that. But when you know what I'm saying? Like and that shit happened years ago. So you just ain't thinking that these niggas is moving that way when they can get anything you want. You find out.
I mean, why wouldn't you? Since the 20s, they've been fondling people.
Everybody don't know those stories. Like you don't know those stories till now.
This boy is from Detroit. He should know how to get. Man, this is the movie industry is gangster. That shit is not like the NBA. It ain't controlled.
That's not what we saying, bro. Like
Richard Pryor put people on when you look at JoJo Dancer, and he started to host those Hollywood parties, and he told his wife to just have fun. And he out she in the room, boning a director dude. So at the end,
you gotta go, like, bro. We've been on this shit. Niggas like Melvin Van Peebles, Mario Van Peebles. Yeah, we've seen this. Like, y'all just the younger
heard them talk about it.
Y'all just get into it. We was just like, man, y'all ain't gonna say nothing. Niggas was like, man, you might as well leave that.
Well, we talking about the president of the United goddamn States.
Yeah, and he was in all of that since back then. That's why a person like me could feel like I could never support Donald Trump as being president, and I wasn't even supporting him when hip hop dudes was talking about him.
You know they were gonna rock with him because they was feeling like he's the closest thing to a nigga that got in, bro. Word up. You had niggas that were fucking with Donald Trump because he got a felony and became the president.
That's pretty much it. And it's just like that's a weird excuse for me to fuck with somebody just because. And when I look at it, it's like
that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Listen,
like they don't care.
I wouldn't have gotten that felony.
Fuck this country. That's basically like a middle finger vote.
Yeah, I wouldn't have got that felony and walked away from it like you. So nah, nigga, we ain't the same. Felony I got ain't the same as yours. Let me see your paperwork, man. Get that blue collar, white collar, blue collar, whatever collar crime that is, preacher collar crime the fuck up out of here, man. I commit real felonies, nigga. I pull a burner on you and rob you and your whole goddamn family. Come up to your office building and rob the security downstairs and rob my way on up the building. Fuck out of here. He been
shot. He been shot. He been accused of he fucked with prostitutes and porn stars and hope. Niggas was fucking with Donald Trump, bro. I can just tell you the ignorant. I just spoke to a YN yesterday. He telling me that he think that them niggas in Chicago got a chance to make some noise. I'm like, yo, bro, them niggas got drones that'll kill all y'all before you get to your guns. Stop. You don't want to fuck with the United States military, nigga. They take over countries. You talking about a few blocks. Stop.
Here's the thing I gotta say. Here's the thing I say to that. The what is it? The Kami Pasatata Act, if I'm saying it right. Bruh, the fucking reason why you can't arrest me, you can't do a fucking thing to me but stand there. The fuck are you here for? You ain't gonna stop. Listen, you being the military, nigga, if I decide to rob this dude right here, you can't do a fucking thing about it. What jail?
Unless martial law is enforced. Unless martial law is enforced.
Exactly. Unless martial law. And at the end of the day, that's what Trump is pushing for.
That's what he's pushing for. He's like, that's what niggas don't understand. See, Marky's an educated YN. This is why Marky gets it. But these other young niggas talking about they got switches. My nigga, there's a reason why they made a law that takes damn near all of Congress and the president and everything, so you can have martial law. Because once maybe these niggas need to go back and watch The Siege. Maybe you need to go watch that movie and see what happens. Just go watch it. And that's a movie. In real life, they gonna kill you niggas.
Oh, damn. I agree. I mean, I was seeing a nigga, he was talking about it on Instagram saying, Donald Trump talking shit about the defense of war. He gonna learn why we call this shit the right. Man, I hope he on the front lines, nigga. They gonna come bomb out your fucking tower building. They gonna get you and your grand.
They already got his address, Mark. They already got his address.
You see what they did? They just killed 11 people that were probably some refugees, and they just said, man, they some drug smugglers. That's all they got to do to get you up out of here.
That's it.
All they got to do is say you. And matter of fact, that video, they could come get you. That's basically like a declaration of war, you stupid little nigga.
You're giving it to
fucking
them.
monkey.
So when niggas be talking to me about this shit, I'm like, at a certain point, you got honest working people that live there too. I hope they survive. But if niggas can't even go play in the playground, the kids can't go play in the playground. You can't go watch your kids. You scared to walk down the block. You scared to go to the store. You need a car to go 800 feet. Yeah, get rid of all you niggas. I'm sorry.
So don't forget the checkpoints.
Get rid of all you little young niggas. Let God sort y'all out, because that's what y'all telling me, because y'all got switches. Cool. They got drones.
Let God sort y'all out.
Y'all got switches. They got drones and tanks and planes.
Bro, listen, I'm gonna say it like this, man.
They
don't even have to do all of that, Pop. They really don't. They really don't have to do all of that. I'm gonna keep it just to veer off on this just for this quick second. They have a gun. Scott, it looks like a flat disc. All they have to do is point it at a block. Everybody that hears and feels it. The only thing you have to do, or your body's gonna allow you to do, is drop and feel like you're gonna throw up. They had this. They were using it. They were using it when Bill Clinton. It was first tested when Bill Clinton did the strike on the Middle East.
That was like 2004, right?
Yeah. So this type of technology has been around then. The last semi-Iraqi war before everybody was taken out, they had developed it, and it was just used for crowd control. So you couldn't get up to a military base because these things were always on. And the only way you can get to the base is once they shut them off, because once you come in range of it, the only thing you're going to do is just drop, and either you're going to throw up violently, or you'll throw up and then pass out. But it's just like a big speaker with bass, and you feel it. And then the next thing you know, you're like, hold up, wait a minute. Nope, okay. I'm going to throw up right now. I got to stop. I can't even take another step. They've been showing this on the military channel. So at the end of the day, they have all of these deterrents for crowd control. The only thing I'm saying is, and I'm going to say it right this time, the Posse Comitatus Act. That's the only thing that saves us, where it's like, if you know this part of it, because they sent the military in, that means nothing. Go about doing your everyday shit, because they can't do nothing. Even that he's doing it legally, that means you really can't do shit, because no DA is going to prosecute you. That's why no DA has prosecuted the sandwich throwing dude, a person that they said online, threatened to shoot Donald Trump or some shit like this. Some 50-something-year-old mom, lady, they tried to arrest her, and Janine, whatever her name is, tried to bring federal charges, and this happened here in New York. No grand jury is going to come back with an indictment, and that's the problem the Trump administration is having with trying to indict people who they saying are saying negative things about the administration online or whatever. You're not getting the indictments because the judges are not taking that crybaby shit serious. So
absolutely, I mean, Donald Trump, they trying to take over really every facet of our society and every arm of our government. And let's transition away from Epstein just for a little second. I don't know if Pop is still there. No, Pop left, but that's okay. Last week we talked about it, AC. I don't know if there's any more meat on this bone, but I'm gonna try to get some from it. The Venezuela strike. They say Pete Hegseth is now on the USS Iwo Jima, off the coast of Puerto Rico. They're sending 2,000 more Marines to Venezuela, or at least off the coast of Venezuela, which would bring the number of Marines in the region to 6,000. Reports have come out today that boat that was blown up. Hold on, let me get the boat up. Where is it? 1 second. They blew that boat up out the water. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah, these folks, the reports are coming out saying that the boat actually tried to turn around. Now, this is completely illegal. You cannot just blow civilian ships out of the water unless they're coming towards our territorial waters and they're firing bullets or they're firing missiles. That's the only time you have the right of self-defense. You can't just blow them out of the fucking water. You have to at least try to board them and interrogate them. Not only that, the likelihood that this was some type of drug boat is little to fucking none. And the likelihood it was coming towards the U.S., which the closest it could get would be either the Virgin Islands, where I live, or Puerto Rico. That would be the closest territorial waters. It's not crossing the Caribbean wasteland to get there from Venezuela. Not in that little boat. Most likely, it was going to Trinidad.
They said either Trinidad or Dominican Republic. The last thing I remember, Trinidad or the Dominican Republic isn't a U.S. territory.
No, and not only that, AC, the likelihood this is carrying boats is not that high. Like, if there's 11 people on the boat, if you're running drugs, you're not gonna have that many people on the boat taking up space.
Yeah.
More than likely, I at least think this was refugees probably running from Venezuela, going wherever they were trying to go.
That's what I thought.
They just unalived them.
That's what I thought. That's the way I felt. I felt that more than likely 11 people on that small boat, those were refugees trying to creep away in the middle of the night, or probably a group of people who, since Venezuela is under so much turmoil, that might have been a group of people who were politically prosecuted.
No, absolutely.
Or were fleeing political prosecution, and then, were unalived in one of these fake attempts to try to gaslight us into believing one thing. Meanwhile, you might be making backdoor deals with Venezuela. I don't know that. You feel what I'm saying? But what you did wind up doing was officially now, you're a war criminal. It's just that simple. You had no reason. The U.S. had no reason to strike that boat whatsoever. At the end of the day, you call the Coast Guard. If I remember correctly, Puerto Rico is a territory of the U.S., and there is a Coast Guard group over there because of all the hurricanes. They're kind of like permanently stationed over there. You could have easily sent them to intersect that boat, or sent a helicopter or whatever. But at the end of the day, you give them warning. You can board the boat, find out what's going on. If it's nothing to worry about, a big nothing burger, you either tell them to turn around or they go about their business. You just don't blow them up and tell us that these were drug cartels. I mean, the last time I seen a boat moving drugs was on Miami Vice, and Tubbs and Crockett was on a speedboat chasing them. Like, what is this, 1980 something, 1990 something? That drug dealers are using boats, using these small boats. Get the fuck out of here. I didn't believe that shit from day one. So at the end of the day, man, it's you put yourself in a position to whereas you're now a war criminal. The evidence is right there. I just think, I would rather put the American flags half-mast for those victims who were murdered by this government than fucking Charlie Kirk. I mean, I may just keep trying to throw all of these comparisons in, as we talk. I can just think of so many things to keep the American flag flying half-mast than to have it
He didn't do that for the
Charlie
little
Kirk.
kids that were shot up in Minnesota.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. Come on. So,
Nah, absolutely. Before we get out of here, AC, one more thing I want to get to. It's my favorite segment of the week. I call it buyer's remorse. Hold on one second. Okay, I call it buyer's remorse.
Latino for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump.
Una grande injusticia. Yanet Correa screams injustice after her husband was placed on an expedited deportation order after showing up to his immigration check-in in Miami.
No, absolutely. The next people to join the buyer's remorse store after Miss I will vote for Donald Trump. Her husband and her nephew got placed on expedited removal. But anyway, the next people to join buyer's remorse are the farmers of America down there in Arkansas. AC, you won't believe it. The bootstrap boys themselves. The good old pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Stop begging for help. Or you know their favorite saying, oh, we'll pray for you. Turns out now they want socialism. They're begging for it, matter of fact. They're begging for government handouts.
We're going to lose 25 or 30% of the farmers in this country if they don't do something. It has to be done, and it's not just here. It's everywhere.
Farmers are making a cry for help before it's too late. Countless farmers gathered to speak to representatives of Arkansas leaders to share the urgency that something needs to be done about the current state of farming. Jake Tester was at the meeting and now joins us in the studio with more. Jake.
Many farmers spoke up at the meeting, and the message was straightforward. They need help, and they need it now.
Mr. Trump, you looked at me, sir, and you said, I love you. Mr. Trump, I need to see the fruit of your love.
Farmers in crisis align way out the door of the Woods Chapel Baptist Church in Brooklyn as hundreds of farmers from not only Northeast Arkansas, but from across the state came to voice their concerns about the current state of farming. Representatives from U.S. Congressman Rick Crawford, U.S. Senator Tom Cotton, and U.S. Senator John Boozman's offices were in attendance to hear those concerns. Among those farmers in attendance was a farmer in Woodruff County, Chris King. He told me this was his 39th harvest, and he has never seen it as bad as this.
And I've never been as worried as I am now about whether or not my kids and grandkids will be able to carry on.
For King, the main problem starts with the fact that they can't sell for profit.
I just would like to see somebody help us get our markets back. We need our exports, and we just need to be paid for what we do. And that's not happening. And we're in real trouble.
But that is not the only issue. King's wife, Melissa King, and farmer in Biggers, Arkansas, Scott Brown, said they are struggling to afford the cost that is needed just to take care of the farm.
The prices that we're getting now are prices like they were when we were children, and what it costs for us to farm is astronomical now. I mean, the price of a combine when we were kids was, in the 20,000s, and now it's 100,000.
I farm 800 acres by myself. I can't afford any help. I farm with paid-for equipment. All my tractors are 50 years old, and I can't hardly make this deal work. How's the guys farming 5 and 10,000 with 20 hands and $1 million combines and $1 million drills going to make it work?
But for Brown, there's something that rounds out all the issues that they are facing: the tariffs.
I think the tariffs are the ice cream on the cake of a perfect storm. When you try to sell a product, okay, U.S. soybeans leaving New Orleans without the tariff to China are cheaper than Brazilian soybeans at the current market. But when you put the tariff on top of them, Brazilian beans are cheaper.
So how can this be fixed?
In the short term, they have no choice but to mail us a check. I don't know a farmer that likes the check program. Nobody wants to take taxpayer dollars, but nobody wants to go broke. Nobody wants to lose everything. Long term, we have to have options, markets, and places to sell our product.
Now, those representatives in attendance will be taking these concerns they heard to Washington, D.C. to share with the government leaders so they can try and find a way to solve this problem before it's too late. Reporting in the studio, Jake Tester.
So there you hear. Who are you talking to? You talking to Bob?
I didn't hear you, Marky.
Oh, yeah, something going in the back. Well, anyway, but there you hear it right there. The bootstrap boys themselves are begging for socialism, AC. I have never seen a turn like this in Arkansas. They are begging for it. Part of me wants to be a Christian and say, I really want to help other people. But then the other part of me says, fuck you. Because they don't give a fuck when it's black people.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck when it's single mothers. They don't give a fuck. Exactly. They don't give a fuck when it's little kids getting their school lunch taken away. Oh, pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
But
they don't give a fuck when people's Medicare or Medicaid get taken away. But we gotta put them on welfare now?
Yeah, but here's the funny part to it. It all started when they was supporting the government shutdowns in Trump's first administration. He fucked over the farmers bad. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. There was supposed to be stimulus money that went to the farmers in two different forms. One was just to help out the farming community, that a bill that Obama signed and everything. They held that. They paused that. The other one was supposed to help the farmers out when it was COVID. Trump then does this first round of tariff wars, and he fucks up all of these farmers that subsidize their farms to get the bigger paydays to grow soybeans. You feel what I'm saying? The soybeans are highly, highly useful, and corn in this country when you're talking about commercialized soybeans and corn. But Trump fucked that all up. Brazil, who was our biggest competitor, then swept in, and the world, especially China, started buying Brazilian soybeans, which then now all of these farmers came back to Trump right before he left and was like, you gave us this stimulus thing for dealing with the government grown soybeans and corn. Then you fuck us over with this bullshit tariff thing that makes us lose our contracts with some of the with our biggest competitor. So we need that money. We need help. And then you go after, then you have ICE. Now you're having ICE and you're saying we want to get all of these immigrants,
no more cheap labor,
and all of this cheap labor. You feel what I'm saying? But meanwhile, pick you up by your strap boot people are telling you that the Mexicans and these immigrants are trying to steal our jobs, but you're not willing to do that job. No one in your neighborhood.
Not just they're not willing to do it. They're not. These people are not willing to. Not only they're not willing, they cannot pay. You heard what one of those guys say. Two of his tractors is 50 years old. He's doing 800 acres by himself, and he's barely making it work. He can't afford to hire labor
because they went for these government subsidized contracts. They went for these government subsidized contracts during Trump's first administration, and he found out that they took the money. Once the money was allocated, they took that money and left you with nothing. And then you talk about droughts. You talk about flooding, earthquake, tornadoes, and shit like that. There is no support. This administration is not going to support you. So of course, by now, the farmers, and this is going to get crazy too. When you talk about the government subsidies of chicken, pork, and beef, there are government contracts that these farmers have. And being that this administration is not willing to live up to the contracts that were previously done, and even the new ones that were allocated, shit is gonna get extra bad. And everybody's gonna be trying to turn back to the independent small farmer. But you know, when you look at certain documentaries, what companies like
Monsanto's.
Yeah, Monsanto's. What they were
Bro,
doing
they
in this
got
country.
you know, Monsanto's has a shadow army. And
Yeah.
they got a fucking
And
they got a seed that produces plants that don't produce seeds.
Exactly, and this.
So you have to keep buying, and you're on a contract, and if you don't pay, those fucking people, like over there in India, they're basically like a mercenary type of like, you know what I'm saying, like the Crusaders, the Crusader knight society, if that makes sense. They're like an elite society with armies that they back, and they got money. So the politicians, they don't bother them, and the police departments in India, they don't bother them.
Bro, these niggas got they got a dark force police station. I mean, a police unit. And this is where they was going into all of these small farms, whether black or white. They pass your farm with these seeds, with their seeds. They know what they are. They know what it looks like when these plants grow. Drive past your joint. When it rains and the shit starts to sprout and grow, they'll then drive back surveyors on the back half of your farm, and then see where these seeds had landed, and it's actually on your land. Then they're sending you a desist letter to say, listen, you can't grow no more shit, because now we got to send our inspectors in, because we found proof somehow or another hold of our specific seeds. So we're gonna now sue you for theft of property or theft of intellect property. And this is how they're taking small independent farms throughout the United States.
Yep. So I mean, listen, man, this ain't just happening in Arkansas. It's happening in Nebraska. They've had a 6% GDP decline since the beginning of this year, since April. You know what I'm saying? But listen, AC, the bootstrap boys are gonna be okay. Okay, you know what the bootstrap boys love to say? I'll pray for you. That's what I'm gonna do for the bootstrap boys.
Yeah, I'm gonna send them my thoughts and prayers.
Exactly. These motherfuckers, this dumb son of a bitch, when he started the trade war in his first term, this is what happened.
Yeah.
Fucking the soybeans, the price of soybeans skyrocketed because of China put reciprocal tariffs on the soybeans when they were selling them over there.
Yeah.
And they went to Brazil for their soybeans, like you said. So what did you expect? And this fucker came in saying he would do this. And you know what these idiots said? Well, okay. Well, we'll just take a little bit of pain, but in the long term, this will turn out for us. And it hasn't turned out for you.
I support.
And they said, and Paul, hold on 1 second before you go. Paul Liggett said 77% of these same farmers we just watched, 77% of them still support the tariffs because they say it's gonna bring long-term gains. This is like Bill Belichick. He's the head coach for UNC. This is like you bet your life savings, your 401k. If you got any stock, you get liquid for it. This is like you bet all of that shit on Bill Belichick UNC to beat TCU, and then he goes out there and gets smoked. They don't complete a pass. They get shut down. And then they come back and say, well, man, let's bet your house. You still got your house. Bet your house on the next UNC game. You're a fucking retard.
Yeah.
You deserve this. And they're going to vote for them again in the midterms. They deserve this shit even more. They don't deserve no help.
Yep.
Bootstrap boys.
At the end of the day, man, it's just like, look, people tried to tell you whether they agree with you politically or not. voting for this guy is voting against your own best interest. Yeah, but he's a
they're trying to
successful
put
businessman.
tampons in the boys' bathroom.
Yeah, and you're like, they try to tell you, well, he's a successful businessman. Yeah, because he kept getting bailed out by third world sketchy ass countries that he's in debt to. You feel what I'm saying? That's not a good businessman when you start a business and you just
Trump called
completely
out
fuck it
Obama
up.
bin Laden.
I didn't hear you.
Trump called out Obama bin Laden.
Yeah, it's like, bruh, come on, man. Man, you are the worst businessman in the world. Listen, I wouldn't give you, 50 cents out of my little cup of change to invest in anything you talking about. Because, you're going to fuck it up. So for me, man, that's, this dude, he's a clown. He's a clown just waiting, to run into a serious brick wall. And as far as, Mr. Charlie Kirk, I have radical ideas on how I feel about you, because I'm a person who grew up and I've seen many different things, and I experienced those things as well. But I felt, fucked up when I saw the videos of when King was shot in public outside, when Malcolm X was shot in public outside, when the attempt on Ronald Reagan happened in the middle of the afternoon, when you watch the assassination of JFK and things like that. Yeah. Even when you go back in history and say Lincoln was just at a theater trying to watch a show, sometimes when you look at some of these people and you really, really look at who they are, like in today's date, you say to yourself, were these people worth killing? I mean, what was the real threat? What was the real threat? Because on its face and what we know, that's not. I couldn't see myself making a yes vote on that, even if I disagreed with his skin color, their beliefs, whatever the fuck it is. I still couldn't see myself, because I'm gonna just look at him like, what kind of real threat is he? When you look at Charlie Kirk, like I said earlier, I asked myself the same question. What is the real threat with Charlie Kirk? There's clips all over the internet of him getting cooked by young people that are, just young, smart, rational, common sense kids destroy Charlie Kirk's talking points. So I didn't see him much as a threat. Yes, he's supposed. I believe he has a child, and he has a wife. He's leaving them behind and things like that. My only rationality in my mind that I can have peace with this and not feel any political way about it or anything like that is, when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. When you choose to engage in rhetoric like that, and you have a platform, it's bound to happen. Look at the the shock jock radio host that was talking all of that crazy shit, and then he winds up getting shot in the parking lot of the radio station. You just gotta be careful of how far you're willing to put the envelope to have that shock jock value and to get likes and to get approval and followers. Because once you go down that street, then you're just in an extremist world. And you lie in bed with extremists, something extreme might happen to you.
Absolutely. It's been a great stream, AC. I mean, we got into a lot of facts with the Epsteins. We covered obviously Charlie Kirk, his unfortunate or horrific and shocking passing by a bullet from a gunman from distance. As well as we got into, the bootstrap boys, like I like to call them. You know what I'm saying? Begging for socialism now, begging for government handouts. It's been a great, great show, man. Like I really mean that. I appreciate you. You're becoming like my co-host.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Like I said, man. I definitely don't mind because I make time to watch these videos. Sometimes I talk, my lady's ears off, talking to her about my political views and things like that. She also says, listen, you scare me, and this is why I don't like talking to you, because a lot of things you say, I wind up seeing it happen. So I just be like, yeah, I'll try not to talk to you. So I'm kind of, I'm definitely doing my best to try to embrace that role of being a co-host and being a good co-host to give, different perspective when necessary. But if we're in total agreement, we're just in total agreement.
Absolutely. All right, people. Thank you to everybody for coming through. Vacay Bay, you came. You were the first comment. You're the last comment. Thank you so much, sis. My brother DeFrilio, Red Glove Militant. Let me see. Who else? I know Angie Baby was up in here. My brother Vaughn, Tommy Hill. Who else was up in here? And Dr. Fields. That's about everybody. And thank you to everybody who came on the panel. My brother Pop a Lot of Smoke, as well as Rodney, even though he came up, was pretty disrespectful to me in the background, but it is what it is. That's the type of nigga he is. He's my brother. I love him to death. And we end off with this. Hey, if you still watching this,
you're a goddamn racist.
That's right.
As far as the time he threw him out of Mar-a-Lago, can you settle that? What was it about? What caused the breach with him?
That's such old history. Very easy to explain, but I don't want to waste your time by explaining it. But for years, I wouldn't talk to Jeffrey Epstein. I wouldn't talk because he did something that was inappropriate. He hired help. And I said, don't ever do that again. He stole people that work for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again. And I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out.
And the next contender, please. Your name, sir?
Yitzhak Shamir.
Your occupation?
The West Bank and Gaza.
And your specialist subject?
Human rights.
Mr. Shamir, you have 30 seconds starting from now. According to Amnesty International, which country has imprisoned more than 5,000 people without trial in the last 3 years?
South Africa?
No, Israel. Between 1987 and 1989, which country killed 540 unarmed demonstrators?
South Africa.
No, Israel. Which country has shot dead more than 110 children since 1987?
South Africa.
No, Israel. Which country produces the nicest oranges?
Israel.
No, South Africa.
Have you ever had a personal relationship with Donald Trump?
What do you mean by personal relationships?
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Have you ever had...
Bye, baby.
You know what you need? You need to be removed from the gene pool because you're too fucking stupid to be alive.
Yeah?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you have no hair, sweetie. Oh, baby.
Touch me. Fucking touch me.